Okay, so today we're going to be doing Pythagoras' theorem, but we're only going to be looking for the longest side, and in a second that's going to make sense of what that actually means. So, first thing is, what is Pythagoras' theorem? It's a formula that helps you work out lengths of a triangle. So you'll be given two lengths on a triangle, and you'll be asked to find the third side using this formula here. Now, the key is, if you don't label it right, you're not going to get the answer right. Okay, so it's really important that we get the labelling done first. So A and B represent the shorter sides. Shorter sides. And I know sometimes you look at a shape and you think, well, I don't know which ones are the shortest, which totally makes sense. C represents the longest side. Now, the easiest way to know which one that is it's always opposite the right angle. Okay, so if we look at the little triangle that we've done here, C is opposite the right angle there, whereas A and B have the right angle on their line. Okay, so that's the easiest way to remember it. So once we've now learnt the formula, we're now going to apply it. So for example, e.g. 1, we've got a triangle with 8, 6 and obviously x. The first thing we need to do is label it A, B and C. Now the side opposite the right angle is x, so that's going to be the C. Now A and B doesn't actually matter which way round you do it. I'm going to stick to how I've done it here, but it wouldn't have made a difference if you made 8 the A and then 6 the B. Okay, so once we've done that, next thing I want you to do is write down the formula, just so that we now start to remember it, because you do need to remember this in an exam. Okay, once we've done that, we're going to replace the letters with the numbers that we know, or except for the C will become still a letter. So A is 6, so 6 squared. B is 8, 8 squared. And C is x, x squared. Okay, so what we do is now we actually square the numbers and then we'll add them together. So 6 squared is 36, 8 squared is 64. Add those two together, we get 100. Okay, now we don't want x squared, we want just x, so we then need to square root it. So x is then going to be 10 centimetres. Okay, so it's just remembering to square root at the end, okay, because everything's got squares to start off with. Okay, let's do another one. Okay, e.g. 2, same thing, step 1, just label it A, B and C. So the side opposite the right angle is our C, because that's the longest side. A and B, doesn't matter which way round they are, I'm going to call 15A and 19B. We write down the formula. Okay, then we substitute in what we know. So A is 15, B is 9, and C is the letter Y. Again, we will actually work out what 15 squared is and what 91 squared is. So that's 225, that's 81. Now for these ones, because the numbers are getting a little bit bigger, you are allowed to use a calculator. So 225 plus 81, 306 is equal to y squared. Now again, we don't want y squared, we just want y. So we need to square root it. Now this one won't be a whole number, okay, so if we square root 306, okay, remember if it comes up with a surge, so the little square root, just click SD and it'll give you a number, so it'd be 17.5 meters, and that's to 1 decimal place. Okay, so depending on the question, if it's nice numbers like the first one we did, then you won't always be given a calculator, but when they're a little bit harder, you are going to need a calculator because they're generally going to be decimals. Okay, and the last one. Now the reason why we're doing this one is because a lot of people are going to get confused because it's not the way that we normally would see it. So normally we'd see them upright with the right angle there or there, like in EG1. So it's just being really careful that you're labelling it correctly. Okay, so just keep looking. The side that's opposite the right angle is always C. Then A and B again, doesn't matter which way round. Okay, I'm not going to write the formula this time because if you can notice I'm really running out of space. So I'm just going to use it from up here. So we know our A is 5. We know our B is 6. And we know our C is Z squared. Okay, then we work out what 5 squared and what 6 squared is. So that's 25 and 36. And then we add those two together, so Z squared is going to be equal to 25 of that, so that would be 61. And then we square root it at the end. So the square root of 61, again, will be a decimal, 7.8. And that would be centimetres. Okay, so just remembering that, make sure that you square root it at the end because that's generally the most common mistake, and also don't forget to square the numbers because that's what the formula says we have to do. Okay, but other than that it's fairly nice, it's just keep practicing.